Hello everybody, welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving with your family and friends and a wonderful 2-day break from trading. But let's wipe the dust off and get ready for a busy trading week with regards to fundamental data. I'll start things off with the earnings calendar, which I gotta say is actually rather boring. Now, on Monday, we don't have anything going on. It's a total ghost town, but there still are 227 companies reporting earnings. It really kicks off on Tuesday with Network Appliances, Workday, Hewlett-Packard, and Intuit. Wednesday, you have Salesforce and Hormel Foods. Thursday brings you Marvell Technologies, Ulta Beauty, Dollar General, and Kroger's, and that, my friends, is it. Let's move on quickly to the next piece here. Now, we've talked about GDP numbers multiple times. As you may recall, there are 3 different versions of GDP. You have the advanced, the preliminary, and the final. Now, we already had last month, in October, we had the advanced number. Now, this month is going to be the preliminary, which is kind of misleading. It's not preliminary. It's just kind of maybe a slight update to the advanced number, which happened. So nobody's really expecting any great changes here. Now, what happened at the advanced was we showed a nice positive increase in GDP. That's where that red line is, to the tune of about 2.6%, which is great. And that means most likely preliminary GDP will come out right around the same level. Now, on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, if there's any major deviation from expectations, you could see some big market swings. But for all intents and purposes, this will probably come out right in line with expectations. Now, the big piece, the wild card, or one of the major wild cards for the week, is going to be oil. There's been so many price fluctuations, speculation on what different governments are going to do with regards to oil. And we've seen very volatile swings, especially last week with the price of crude oil. Now we're going to jump to OPEC, which is obviously a major factor in the price and production of oil. They have a meeting that's going to be on Thursday, and that is all day long. That's important because there's no specific time, so be very careful you are trading oil on that day. Here's a chart of clicks showing crude oil, and you can see that going all the way back into 2021, it's been a beautiful rally up. But really starting in 2022, oil has been getting beaten down lower and lower. And as we speak right now, you can see there's a little bit of a demand zone that we bounced off of last week. Now, if that demand zone holds, you could see prices rally back to the upside. Now, that said, we know that OPEC is going to make some announcement with regards to production, supply, etc., and even pricing. So it will be a very volatile week for oil, but mapping out your supply and demand zones here is key in helping you map out your trades and managing your risk. If you'd like to know more about supply and demand, market timing strategies, you can find out more by clicking on that link down below in the description, which will register you for a free class to learn more about trading and investing using Online Trading Academy's core strategy. Now, we've talked about Jerome Powell over and over, so you're probably annoyed at this point by the Jerome Powell conversation. Well, there is a major inflationary piece coming out this week called the Core PCE Price Index, and that announcement is going to happen Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you can see, the previous number was actually a slight decline from the last month's reading, which is a rather good sign to see inflation declining. Now, of course, we don't know which way it's going to go, but based off what happened with Consumer Price Index as well as Producer Price Index over the past couple of weeks, it looks like this core PCE number is going to decline a little bit. Now, based off what happens at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with that announcement, you could see wild swings, so plan accordingly and be careful. Now, the final piece we're going to look at is jobs. We've looked at employment data all the time on this program, but there's a major announcement happening on Friday, and that's one that you should be paying attention to. That announcement is the unemployment rate, Friday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, the good news is we've seen this very nice downtrend in the unemployment rate going back several months, really since the pandemic started and we peaked back there in 2020. Now, it's getting lower, but the last reading was actually slightly higher than expected, which is pretty much in line with what Jerome Powell was talking about, which is you are going to experience some pain. We are going to see unemployment numbers rise. And this is kind of interesting to see if it actually is doing what Jerome Powell and the Fed have said that it's going to do, which is cause higher unemployment. Now, all of these pieces, GDP, inflation data, unemployment, don't technically tell you which trade to make or how to invest. It's really understanding the broad picture, the bigger picture, and applying core strategy and having a plan in place so that you don't get caught making the wrong investments or being caught holding things past stop losses without a plan. That, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.